Zach Wilson had a performance that was even more impressive when you consider how everyone had been dumping on him. Joe Namath, Fireman Ed, everyone, anyone. There was no Zach Wilson supporter out there. And he came out, answered the bell, and it looked bad early, but something happened. Here's Robert Saleh after the game talking about the performance of his quarterback.
I thought he was really good. Gave us a chance to win the game, brought us back. If he plays like that, we're going to win a lot of football games. Decision making. I shouldn't say decision making. He's always a good decision maker. The decisiveness at which he was making his decisions, he was letting it rip. I thought he did a really, really nice job. I was just really happy for him to go out and show that he does belong, that he can play in this league. And like I said, if he plays that way, we're going to win a lot of football games.
That's exactly what they needed out of Zach Wilson. And again, it was going to take time. The pivot from Rodgers to Wilson, it took some time. Everybody wanted to have some quick answer. Everybody wanted a starting quarterback to walk through that door. There was no solution other than to stick with it. And think about what they accomplished last night. After all the shit they had to listen to all week long from their own fan base. Their own fan base wouldn't shut up about it. And maybe it fueled them. I don't know. But everybody wanted Zach Wilson's head on a spike or a pike. Something that ends IKE. I don't know again. I'll blame the COVID. Everybody wanted Wilson out. Everybody wanted some other quarterback in. They didn't know who. They didn't know how. And they didn't know whether to expect it would be any better. They just wanted somebody different. They wanted something. We just are mad and we want something. Well, you may not like that thing you get. I don't care. We're just mad and we want something. It was so asinine. It was nonsensical. And maybe last night will end that. Maybe last night will normalize things for Jets fans. Maybe after last night they'll say, okay. You know what? That wasn't too bad last night. Maybe we'll calm down and ride this thing. Now, if they go to Denver and lose, if he reverts to the guy that he was before last night, that's a different issue. But again, they've had time to work with him. They've had time to reconfigure the offense. And maybe, just maybe, the return of Aaron Rodgers to the team on Saturday night when he speaks to them unexpectedly and he tells them, not through Pat McAfee's show, but in person, stop pointing fingers. Here's what you need to do. Grow the hell up. Rally around each other. Have each other's back. Believe in each other. Trust Zach Wilson. That may have had something to do with it too, Chris.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Hey, that's where, we always throw around these phrases, right? Veteran leadership. Veteran lockers, veteran players in the locker room. What do they do for the locker room? All the positive things, the things they do on the practice field that rubs off and all that. That's where Rodgers, can be a great asset here, even though he can't play. Definitely. I can speak to it a little bit as a player myself. When I was on the Buccaneers football team, I was careful of what I said, how I acted, because I knew if I wasn't doing the right thing or acting the right way or maybe saying the right things to the media, that guys like Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp or Rondé Barber were going to be like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Right? Shut up, play football. So they kept the locker room in check. They all had their different way in which they did it. And the Jets, as we've talked about really for the last 2 years, have not had that guy. And they've let some of the young guys, do the State of the Union address, and you're going, wait, why are you doing this and all that? So that's where I think Rodgers will be really important in his presence. And hopefully somebody on the defensive side of the ball can be that kind of guy too. But yeah, I think there was some value in that. And just, hey, shut up, play football, stop pointing fingers, look at the guy in the mirror, come to work every day, get better, and hopefully they can build on that. It showed last night. I thought they were going to crumble. I really did, right? I mean, it was 17-0, and I was going, man, is this going to be like 34-0 at halftime? And the Jets are this talented team's just going to melt away right in front of our eyes right here? And they stuck together, and maybe it was the speech or whatever else. But, I give them credit. And I, of course, give Zach Wilson a lot of credit for what he did and just hanging in there because you're right. Tough week. Jets fans are not rational, including the ones in this NBC building. I mean, they were ready to pillage and put his head on a spike in the first quarter of the game. And then by halftime, they were telling me he's awesome. So it's constant. I've told you that, whether I'm at the gym, at a restaurant, I always have Joey, the dumbass Jet fan, come up to me and say something to me. And it's annoying, okay? So maybe this will, just calm them the hell down here a little bit.
You said it last year. They always want to throw overboard the guy who's the starter,
Always.
wherever it is. And then they want to anoint the next guy. And then once he's anointed, what happens? They want to throw him overboard and anoint the next one.
A little bit of that,
It's
for
amazing.
Sure. It is.
It's amazing. And Aaron Rodgers was inevitably going to get some of it too. That's the only silver lining in him getting injured after 4 plays. He never drew the ire of the Jets fans.
Right.
Although if he plays next year, there's a chance at some point he will, and they'll be calling for Zach Wilson to play. I mean, it's so
the Jets.
freaking predictable.
It's
very
unbelievable. You're right. It really is. It is. And hey, we give credit, and I do want to give credit, to Zach Wilson, what he did, right, for sure. He did have the fumbled snap as far as that. That was a big moment of the football game, right? Fourth quarter, game's in the balance. Snap was around his knees. You'd like him to catch that ball there, right? That was another big moment here. That was unfortunate. I was kind of doing my podcast at this time, watching it as it was going on, and I was like, wait, what the hell happened? And, kind of a ball that died out that was a little low. And as a quarterback, hey, you're trying to get your eyes up and read coverages and do that. And why I bring it up, is not to pile on Zach Wilson because we got something positive here to talk about. But I think he shows maturity in what he said after the game. And it's a long way from last year in New England just going no, right? He kind of he's been taking it on the chest and been basically like, I got to be better. He's made no excuses. And, I think even the things he said after the game, I think he handled it the right way to where he's going to get major respect in the locker room for how he handled it.
Let's hear what Zach Wilson had to say after the game about that fumbled snap that ended up being so costly.
Yeah, it's on me. Critical situation. I can't have a play like that. I cannot drop the ball. And this team is sacrificing a lot. Guys were making plays, defense was making plays, O-line was protecting, the receivers were making plays, and to be driving right there and to drop a snap, I cannot do that. I lost us that game, and I cannot do that. And I was making it clear to those guys that I need to be better. I need to be better on the little things, the details. It can't happen.
You're right. It's a far cry from last year when he refused to take any blame for his own failures in that loss to the Patriots. And that was the thing that really accelerated the disintegration of any support that anyone had for him. I don't know what the timeline is from leaving the field to ending up at the podium, but usually you see guys still in his pads after a win because he doesn't want to lose that feeling. He doesn't want to change out of his – and I find that encouraging last night that he still, even though they lost, right, he didn't want to go in there and just get me out of this damn uniform. Like, he knows what happened last night. He knows that something changed, that a switch was flipped. And I think he's as hopeful, obviously, as anyone else that it wasn't a fluke, that after all this effort, all this time, all this work, all this growth, he's turning a corner that's going to lead him in the right direction and really may turn this thing around for the Jets and for him in 2023.
Yeah, hope so. I mean, we'll see what he does, right? He's not the perfect quarterback. We know that. You could see his talent. I think anybody that watches the sport goes, damn, he can run well, and damn, the ball pops out of his hands when he really wants to put some mustard on it. So now it's about, can he be like what Robert Saleh said? Good in the pocket, decisive, feels confident in what he sees. And I think after a night last night, it's going to change him. Where I bet you they have a better week of practice because he's a little bit of the pressure's off. He proved to the guys in the locker room, hey, I can play a little bit, right? And I can move this offense. And I think that'll bring up the whole mojo of the football team. So I'll give them credit there, and hopefully they can build on that against a very suspect Broncos offense this week.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.